This ends with the lightweight division on fire, an interim belt dangling like a trap, egos colliding, and at least one legacy getting erased in public. And now we rip backward because you need to see how a single sentence from Paddy Pimblett turned everything radioactive.
You put me against Paddy.
Do you think Paddy's going to beat Justin Gaethje?
Easy.
That's a crazy thing to say because Justin Gaethje's a f***ing animal. He could be the next Conor McGregor star.
I want that world title. All laugh all you want and say I'll never be champ. You gang of mushrooms.
Like that kind of a star where the whole
He
world's
has
watching.
that weird personality.
Yes.
Yeah, he has that.
Well, he's very disarming because people, they see, I talked about this in the last pay-per-view. I said it's a very sneaky trick because guys like you look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way you, that's a fighter. Like you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair is flopping around like he's in the Beatles. You know, he's like, he seems silly, but then he fucks people up.
I lean Justin in that fight, and that alone already feels like standing in front of a firing squad because Paddy didn't just talk, he declared a knockout of Justin Gaethje like it was already written, and nah, this can't be real.
Ilya or Paddy? I mean, the fight not happening. It's Justin or Paddy now. Paddy got to get past Justin. Justin's a tough fight, bro. I don't know. A lot of people sleeping on Justin on the Paddy fight, which just makes me ridiculous.
Damn, what could be next for Paddy? Ilya says he thinks Paddy kills Justin Gaethje. I don't think kill him, dude. Justin Gaethje is so fucking solid. But again, 5-round fight, 2, 3, 4 rounds into the match, and Paddy does score a takedown. Now he's got maybe Justin Gaethje on his back in half guard.
That's very plausible. Justin forgets he fucking wrestles.
He definitely trains it, but you could see why Ilya thinks that a little bit. Plus, Justin Gaethje's 36, Paddy Pimblett's 30 years old. But again, you can't count Justin Gaethje out. He could knock Paddy the f out.
I would lean towards Justin in that fight.
This wasn't hype talk or cloud fishing. This was Paddy Pimblett staring straight into the camera and calmly telling the world he's going to flatline one of the most violent men the division has ever produced, and you felt the temperature shift instantly.
But I think everyone's going to be shocked, to be honest, because I think I'm going to knock him out. So people won't expect that. People think I'm just going to try and grapple and take him down when I'm not. I'm going to come out and I'm going to put it on.
Expecting an early knockout, a late knockout, somewhere in the middle?
I don't see him getting past the third, just like Chandler.
Because when someone says they'll knock out Justin Gaethje without blinking, that's either delusion, destiny, or something darker brewing underneath. And I hate how confident he looked saying it.
So I know the last time you won that interim belt, you threw it on the ground in the cage, says it wasn't the priority for you. Do you have different feelings towards it this time and what it could mean at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't a priority. It was that I knew Khabib was next. And if I was going to sit there and think that I was any kind of champion with that belt, with Khabib being next, I think I was, going to be foolish. I needed that mindset to prepare for that fight, and he beat me. And but ultimately, like I said, this gets us paid as a champion, and it definitely gives me the chance to fight Ilya. I want to fight Ilya. I want to play spoiler, just like I did in Khabib and Tony. I'm going to f this up for everybody, and there's going to be no Paddy and Ilya. I'm going to do the same thing I did for that fight. And then I'm going to fight Ilya on the White House card if he's ready to fight again. We'll see when he's ready again.
Paddy framed it like a revelation, like people have him completely wrong, like the grappler label is a decoy, and the real plan is to walk Gaethje down and detonate him. And wait, what?
I added an extra workout on Mondays, so now I have 3 workouts, and I really tear my body down so I can. And then Tuesday, I have sparring and sprints. Wednesday, similar to today, but it's only 2 workouts. And then Thursday and Friday is only 1 workout, but very high intensity workouts. And so I think I'm going to be, I really knew for a fact that I was going to fight in the future, so I was, doing everything I could to be in the best shape of my life.
That kind of confidence doesn't come from nowhere, and it makes you wonder who whispered what in his ear, what footage they saw, what weakness they think they've cracked, because this feels planned.
I think that Arman Sarukian is doing everything he needs to do to stay active. Listen, man, this guy might just be the best lightweight in the world. Since Islam's gone, he's really good, man. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. The champion, Ilya Topuria, is tremendous. I think Ilya and Arman are the 2 best guys in the world. I think they need a fight at some point because I think Paddy Pimblett is awesome. Justin Gaethje is awesome. Arman and Ilya seem to have something. And not only something in terms of skill, but between the 2 that we could build a great fight around, right? So yeah, I think Arman's fantastic though, man. He's good. He looked great against Dan Hooker too.
And here's where it gets dangerous, because Justin Gaethje didn't flinch. He welcomed it, treated the interim title at UFC 324 like a weapon, like a gateway to forcing his way into an Ilia Tapiuria collision.
Do you see a guy currently in the UFC or in the future of the UFC having 3 belts before it's all said and done? 3 different weight classes. Maybe it's a Hamzat Chimaev, maybe it's an Alex Pereira, maybe it's somebody else. Do you see it happening, Uriah?
I could say Ilia Topuria. That guy, I mean, with his skill set, he seems to have some crazy power that could translate to the higher weight classes, because, you know, the only thing you're combating when you go up and down weight classes, I did the same thing. I was a world champion at 145 pounds, top contender for years at 135 pounds. You're just fighting different battles. It's you're a little bit faster when you're the smaller guy. You're a little bit stronger when you're the bigger guy. But it really comes down to technique, willpower, and the fighting spirit. And I think Ilia right now, he has those.
Gaethje isn't chasing gold for validation anymore, he's chasing disruption. He's talking about playing spoiler again, like he did when he shattered the Khabib versus Tony dream, and that should terrify everyone involved.
He's been calling out Ilia. He would win that fight, you reckon?
Oh, I think there's a reason that Ilia doesn't really want to get in the octagon with him. I think Arman's a problem, and it's everyone in the division is kind of ducking him at the moment. You know, Ilia's taking some time off. And then the other 2 don't want to fight him, Paddy and Gaethje, they both don't want to fight Arman, so now they're fighting each other. So he's kind of just left in the lurch. Maybe I'll get past BSD and I think I'll be the only guy to put my hand up to run it back with Arman. Who cares?
Because when Justin starts talking about ruining plans instead of winning fights, history says something explodes, and not always in the way fans expect.
Voy a preguntarte directamente, toda la gente dice que tienes miedo de Arman y te tengo que preguntar por eso.
Bueno, al final ya sabes lo que pienso sobre la opinión de los demás. Arman, bueno, es un buen luchador, ha tenido sus oportunidades en las que se ha negado a competir, ha tenido su oportunidad de pelear por el campeonato del mundo, se ha retirado del combate. Todos los luchadores hemos enfrentado dolores de espalda, dolores de brazo, de pierna, de todo, y aún así nos hemos presentado en el combate. Él por alguna razón no. Y él sabe cuál ha sido esa conversación interna. Tal vez se ha tenido que cambiar los calzones después de tomar esa decisión.
He's preparing day by day, stacking sessions, adding extra workouts, tearing his body down on purpose, and that's the part nobody wants to admit. Feels ominous because desperation sharpens violence.
Cuando tú ves que tienes una persona enfrente a la que le estás dando cariño, en la que estás invirtiendo el dinero que realmente te está devolviendo las cosas de esa manera, al final tú le seguirías dando cariño.
No.
Bueno, pues eso es lo que están haciendo. Lo que han dicho, se han sentado en una mesa y ¿sabe lo que han dicho? Que le den por el culo a Arman. Así que Arman, desde aquí, que te den por el culo.
3 workouts on Mondays, sprints, sparring, high-intensity days stacked like a countdown, and he's saying it's the best shape of his life. But I've heard that before, right before chaos.
Do you feel like with Arman Tsarukyan, just before I get off, do you feel like he would have beaten Ilia Topuria had they fought for the actual undisputed title?
I mean, he's going to be a problem for Ilia for sure. I mean, his wrestling is legit. His grappling is legit. We really get to see how good Ilia is, you know, on the ground in that space, because he's good, but Arman's elite. So I don't know. We'll see how that all works. But
at the same time, the division isn't even watching just them, because Daniel Cormier dropped a quiet grenade by saying Arman Tsarukyan might already be the best lightweight alive now that Islam is gone.
Do you want to see him and Arman?
Yeah, the whole world wants to see Arman and Ilya.
Who do you got? Be honest.
No,
be honest.
That's the fight.
Who do you got?
I'm gonna be honest.
Be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to see him and Arman, because you know Arman was one of us and stuff now, because I feel like Topuria hands might be a problem. But everybody said that there's no problem for Arman. His Topuria's like striking and his wrestling, and
he's confident.
Yeah.
He's confident. He's been working hard. You know, he's a hard worker. I seen him the way he works. He's tough.
I don't think anybody could touch Arman. And I'm not saying that because I glaze him because he's my friend. I think Arman is his cardio. I think his cardio is incredible. I think his wrestling's incredible. But I think Arman is a true mixed martial artist. People don't get to see this from him. He has so much power and technique from his kicking to his wrestling to his striking, but he's able to put them together so seamlessly.
That changes everything because suddenly this isn't just Paddy versus Justin. This is a bottleneck holding back a guy who thinks the belt is a formality, not a goal.
Man, how you feel? How do you feel about that fight?
Against Topuria, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one.
For sure.
Can Arman beat him? 100% he can. Yeah, he can beat him.
Yes, for sure.
How? Mix up the striking with the wrestling.
Arman sees his name at number 1 and talks like destiny owes him paperwork, and that kind of certainty tends to collide violently with politics behind closed doors.
Arman is very, he's very vocal about wanting to be next, to fight for the belt, to fight Ilya. Do you think he should be next?
Hey, Ariel, you know me, I don't like Arman Tsarukyan that much, I don't have nothing against him, but to be honest, right now, he is the guy to fight for the belt. I think with the performance that he had, and if you watch his record on UFC, like he only lost to Ganra, and that was a very hard fight. There was a split decision, if I remember. Maybe I'm mistaken, but there was a close fight, and then he lost to Makhachev on his debut, like with very short notice. So the guy against Joel Alvarez, he did a very good job, and now he beat Charles. Was a split decision too, but after that one, I think he's the number 1 contender. I think he should be fighting for the title next.
Then, you hear whispers about Ilia Topuria, about momentum, about a future super fight, and you start noticing how often Arman's name gets mentioned without anything actually happening.
Like, Arman should have been way over Gaethje, and I feel like Arman should be way over Paddy, but he doesn't have that hiccup. So what does he do? Does he sit out? Or does he go out there and make his case? Get another one of these top 5 guys, Arman, I say, take their head off because there's nobody there that can beat him, and keep him moving, brother. Then they can't deny you, I think he has to go out there, just beat somebody else, and not even Dana White can say, no, I'm not giving this guy a title shot. After that, there's no way, And the fight to see in 2026 is Arman versus Ilya. Those are the best guys at 155 pounds right now.
Dan Hooker straight up said what people are scared to say, that Ilya might not want that smoke. That Arman is a stylistic nightmare everyone's quietly avoiding, and that pause from competition suddenly feels louder.
Спасибо за вопрос. Отдыха не будет, так как я буду, можно сказать, запасным, но неофициально запасным на бой Paddy против Gaethje. То есть, если кто-то из них травмируется, то я буду готов залететь за неделю, за 10 дней, за 5 дней. То есть я буду подводить свой вес, да, я не буду гонять его в день взвешивания, но если я им понадоблюсь, то я буду там. Из-за этого нужно мне держать форму, тренироваться, делать спарринги и постараться не травмировать себя в этих схватках, но при этом же выложиться на 100%, чтобы люди обрадовались, пришли посмотреть за красивым зрелищным схваткой. И отдохну после уже боя Pimblett-Gaethje.
Ilya fired back with sarcasm, questioned Arman's reliability, mocked his withdrawals, and that wasn't playful, that was personal, and once respect is gone, things get ugly fast.
De los más emocionantes para el público, y Justin dice, yo les voy a echar el plan a perder al UFC y voy a pelear con Ilya en la Casa Blanca. ¿Te gusta esa idea? Porque obviamente Justin es de los candidatos, porque es estadounidense, porque ha estado cercano al presidente Trump, etc.
Mira, la verdad que yo siempre acepto la voluntad de Dios, lo que Él quiera que pase para mí será bueno. Si gana Paddy, si gana Justin Gaethje, realmente si gana Justin Gaethje, la UFC tiene planes diferentes de las que no puedo hablar en este momento. Pero bueno, si me ofrecieran pelear con Justin Gaethje en la Casa Blanca, también sería un combate muy emocionante para mí. Sería algo que me ilusionaría muchísimo. No sé qué tan capaz va a ser de arruinar los planes de la UFC y los planes de Paddy Pimblett. Lo va a tener bastante difícil, no imposible, así que le deseo toda la suerte. Pero no sé si tendrá tanta suerte ganándole a Paddy Pimblett, porque después se va a tener que encerrar en un octógono conmigo, y no sé si eso es tener mucha suerte.
The tone shifted from rivalry to hostility, from future matchup to unfinished business. And when fighters start talking like that, contracts stop being the real battlefield.
Terinato, Paddy Pimblett en contra de Justin Gaethje. Una pelea que tú incluso anticipaste que podría pasar, ¿no? Que tal vez para que Paddy mereciera la pelea de campeonato contigo, tenía que ganarle a Justin. ¿Cómo la ves? ¿Cómo te tomó la decisión del UFC?
Muy bien, muy contento. La verdad que yo tuve la conversación previamente antes con la UFC, sabía lo que estaba sucediendo, mantuvimos algunas conversaciones. Por mi situación personal sabían que yo no pudiera competir en enero, bueno, pues todas las cosas que engloba una situación personal por la que estoy pasando, y al final decidieron hacer el combate por el título interino entre Paddy Pimblett y Justin Gaethje. A mí me parece muy merecido para ambos, es un título bastante válido, bastante merecido, es lo más cerca que van a estar los dos de tener un campeonato del mundo. Le felicito a los dos, pero
Arman didn't play along. He called out the hypocrisy, laughed at the interviews, labeled Ilya a joke, and that kind of dismissal cuts deeper than insults because it suggests fear without saying the word.
There for the interim belt. Who do you think wins that fight?
Paddy. Only because Justin doesn't want another interim belt. I mean, like, that's just it. You could tell, like, as soon as, like, when we were fighting, like, I prepared for a different guy. Like, that'd be real. And it was like, I wanted to go in there and, like, just, that's not about me anyways. We'll talk about Gaethje and Paddy. Paddy's not bad, dude. Paddy's not bad. He's very beatable, and Gaethje's very beatable as well. But when it goes into the passion and how upsetting Justin Gaethje has always been about not getting that real title shot, and they just keep dangling it right there again.
Then you've got legends weighing in. Rockhold calling Arman elite on the mat, Rampage unsure, others fully backing Sarukian, and suddenly the narrative fractures into camps.
I mean, Paddy's in for a new treat, right? Paddy's the one that's never fought for a belt. He's going in there. He's going to be trying to, get that stuff. He's going to feel a little bit more fresher. He's going to have that little bit of excitedness, in my opinion. So if I was going to the book and I was going to try to place the bet, I mean, I would go with the new kid that's going in there and that's going in there for the new opportunity rather than the old kid that fought for the belt, disrespected it, threw it on the fucking ground, and didn't give a shit for it. In my mentality, that's how he's going to be again. It's going to go for Paddy, in my opinion. So best of luck for both of them. I hope they knock each other.
Some see Ilya as a future 3-division monster. Others see Arman as the gatekeeper from hell. And both sides are acting like the UFC already chose.
Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. It's gonna be interesting fight because we know Paddy Pimblett, he does know jiu-jitsu, grappling. If they go striking, I think Justin will beat him. But if they try more grappling, then Paddy got this, and who knows what they're gonna do, what kind of fights they will show. And I don't know who will be winning. Both can win.
And here's the part that makes my skin crawl. Arman is sitting as the backup for UFC 324, ready to step in if anything goes wrong, which means one injury, one misstep, and the whole story flips overnight.
Whoever wins that fight, whether it is Paddy or Justin, how do you think they fare against when Ilya is ready to return?
Yeah, they have no chance against Ilya. Either Paddy or Justin. Ilya, very good champion. We know he hits hard, and also he is good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu.
Ilya even hinted there are plans he can't talk about. Different plans, backup plans, and whenever fighters say that with a smile, it usually means someone's getting blindsided. He admits the interim fight exists because of his own personal situation, says he's happy for both guys, but that pause at the end of his sentence said more than the words. Tony Ferguson then pours gasoline on it, talking about hunger versus heartbreak, about Paddy chasing his first moment while Justin carries old scars, and that psychological split is dangerous. Because hungry fighters gamble and wounded fighters detonate, and putting them together with an interim belt feels less like matchmaking and more like an experiment. Mevrab summed it up coldly: striking favors Justin, grappling favors Paddy, flip a coin, but then he drops the real bomb by saying whoever wins has no chance against Ilya. Think about that. The interim champion already being dismissed, the division already looking past them, and that kind of disrespect has consequences. This doesn't feel resolved, it feels staged, like pieces moving while we're distracted by trash talk and sound bites, and something tells me the real fight hasn't even been announced yet. And the quiet right now, the smiles, the interviews, the confidence, That's the calm before someone's plans get obliterated in public, and I don't trust a second of it.